So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
Hey everyone, Razbowski here.
What's going on, guys? Dorko here.
And welcome back to episode 13 of Theory Thursday. Now, in this one, there's going to be a couple of changes, and the first one being there's actually not going to be any cameras in any of the corners. And the reason for this is because Lewis is enjoying his holiday, and there's no point including 3 cameras and leaving Lewis's blank because that wouldn't be fair. That's pretty much the reasonings, guys, so you're going to be hearing our voices over the top of what we have to discuss today. So, what is it that we're going to be discussing?
Today, we are discussing debunking. There's been quite a lot of things going around the community right now that a lot of people tend to believe. The thing is with this community is that, I don't know, that sometimes they get a bit too cryptic, and I don't know, that when they find something, they hold it to be true, and, you know, we're going to be going over some of those today.
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the primary issues is that, you know, with the Five Nights at Freddy's news, it seems to go up and down. Of course, when Scott releases something big, the news goes up and a lot of theories come out, but once things begin to settle, I think the same kind of wave of theories are expected, but it's quite hard to make up a theory from limited information, especially in this kind of sensitive community. We want to try and keep everything as authentic as possible, because with Five Nights at Freddy's 4, we really have no idea how it's going to go.
The great thing about our fandom and the hype for Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is the fact that we're all coming up with these amazing theories, and we just want to take a little bit of time out of our normal running schedule with the Theory Thursdays to just go over a couple of ones that have been going around, and we want to just say our points on why we don't think these are possible. Scott has generated a fantastic... The whole fan base is looking for every single... We're going over every single pixel to see if we can find some secrets, and it's always good. Some of them become a little bit too wild.
Absolutely,
we're just going to discuss them today.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think the thing is, as I've said before with the trailer, is like, there is these subtle things, but it is genuinely just like a graphical element. It's not meant to be anything cryptic, and it's like the first thing which we're going to be talking about, which is, of course, the reflection in the window. A lot of people have been saying in the comment section that why haven't these guys covered it? You know, how have they not seen this? And the thing is, we actually have seen it, but we know exactly what it is. And basically, guys, if you look at the sequence where we see Chica down the hallway as she kind of cowers behind the back of what looks to be some kind of corridor linking the 2 hallways together, you'll see like 2 white eyes in the window, and I think a lot of people are starting to think this may be some kind of hidden animatronic, maybe even Fredbear from outside of the establishment. But what it actually appears to be is simply Chica's eyes darting across. But how windows work, a reflection kind of works the opposite way, you know? If you're, for example, standing on a shiny flooring, if you was to jump up, your shadow, or should I say your reflection underneath, would appear to go downwards.
Yeah.
And it kind of works like a mirror image for that,
Like it is, you can kind of, if you pause it at the right frame, you can kind of see the yellowish tint in the window as well. It wouldn't... Scott's more... I think he's more trying to show with the reflection. He's not trying to add a hidden animatronic. He's trying to show that maybe Nightmare Chica is actually real, hence why it's got the reflection.
Interesting, very interesting.
Also, as well, like you might see Chica on the reflection, but not outside the corridor popping out. Do you know what I mean? So, say if we look outside the door, we might not see Chica there in front of us, but in the reflection of the window, we'll still see her eyes. There.
I suppose another thing I suppose we can talk about is like the fact that this may actually be some kind of gameplay mechanic when you think about it. You know, our ability to see these animatronics. I mean, for example, in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, if you actually look in the source files, all the different images where Springtrap is in different positions, some of the positions are really cryptic, and you can barely see him. So maybe this is going to be a new thing that Scott's going to be utilizing. That is, of course, the reflections within all of the windows around the establishment. I mean, we've seen only 2 corridors, and I don't know, something doesn't feel right. It feels like we have a lot more to see within this establishment.
I was thinking that maybe we've linked it to Five Nights at Freddy's 1's gameplay mechanics.
Yes.
Like the whole game, how Bonnie comes from the left, Chica comes from the right. And I think that maybe the windows, the reflections of the windows, might work as like a blind spot, just like in Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's what. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely seems plausible.
And when you see it, I don't know how it's going to be that you escape from these animatronics, or maybe hiding under a duvet or something like that.
But classic child.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if he implements the windows reflection as a blind spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose we could think about other things like mirrors, perhaps, around the establishment. There's a lot of possibilities with this. So, if anything, maybe we should stop trying to look at the inner messages of who this animatronic could be in the reflection, but maybe how we could possibly utilize this within the game.
Because, I mean, we've not got cameras. So that was the staple of Scott's game so far has been the cheeky camera play.
Absolutely,
so something else has got to be used instead of it, and maybe he's going to add little features like window reflections to help us.
Absolutely. So you go. What's your actual opinion on this, guys? I just want to go around in a quick. I know you said circle, more of a square. What do you think? Do you actually think there'll be any cameras in this game?
No. I don't think so.
I personally believe that, I don't know, like, it's a bit weird how we're in one room and we look behind us and we look forward to the right and to the left. But then the thing that throws it completely off is seeing this plush trap character. How are we seeing this character? Like in Five Nights at Wario's, I think it was the first one, you actually have to walk to the back to do up the generator. Or that was the second one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon that maybe there will be a form of free run, but not literally like WASD, but more like clicking forward.
Maybe a slow fade out into a new area, you mean? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Interesting.
Like when you go to the right and left hand doors, I think you'll actually have to click on the door and then there'll be a little animation as you move forward. It's the same with when you check the closet with Foxy inside it. You've obviously moved forward to because obviously you've got the wide shot where you can see both the doors, but when you're looking at the closet with Foxy in it, you're right up close to it.
Yeah, one of the
and it's got the timer up in the top corner at this point as well, so it's not just made for the trailer.
Yeah, one of the main things as well is that all the cameras on all the other trailers have the the blur and the static. If this was a plush trap camera, it's got no static whatsoever. It's so crisp and clear. It doesn't seem like a camera point of view to me.
Interesting, yeah. And now on to the second topic, which has been covered by a few YouTubers, which is talking about the trailer once again for Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Now, some people are actually starting to speculate that maybe the trailer should be played backwards, and it might make a little bit more sense doing this way. Now, once again, guys, I just want to put a little disclaimer. This is our opinions, as was said at the start of this video, so you are free to believe whatever you want. If you disagree, be sure to tell us, and if you do agree with what we have to say, be sure to tell us also.
Well, we know Scott to find different ways of telling us a story or giving us a piece of information, like the whole Caesar side for that was completely new to us, and it was kind of exciting in a way to kind of crack the code. Like, you'll be the first to crack the code. But I don't know. I think when it comes to trailers, I think he wants to just put out what he wants us to see right there, rather than right now. If I put in a secret meaning, if we play it backwards, it sounds like Mike Schmidt is killing all the kids or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest issue with that one, the whole Mike kill all thing, was the fact that it's a nursery rhyme, and it's the same with, like, there's a lot of other examples within songs, and it's what your mind chooses to hear. It's not really what the song's saying at all. It's just what your mind interprets, because the mind is one of those things where it tries to make shape of various things. For example, let's talk about something in real life, which is when you see something in the corner, you ultimately assume it to be some kind of ghost, don't you? Because that's what we're trained to do. Our eyes are trained to look for faces and facial recognition. So that's why we can see a lot of paranormal things in real life. And it's the same with hearing things too. I mean, like one of the famous Queen songs, Another One Bites the Dust. You play that backwards and wow, it's a pretty cryptic message about smoking marijuana.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke weed every day. Watching the trailer backwards was actually quite interesting in the fact it kind of made it slightly more creepier. I don't know what it was.
I think it was definitely the audio. I
think probably the audio played backwards. As you were saying, your mind is not used to hearing something backwards. It just doesn't sound right. Because we've watched the trailer forward so many times, hearing it backwards makes it slightly eerier. Some of because the jump scare, not the jump scare was reversed, but when Chica and Bonnie pop out from the corners, they actually pop out instead of going back in, if you know what I mean. So that kind of looked a little bit creepier because they just came out and then your light went off, whereas it was the opposite way around. But that was it. It made it look slightly creepier. I didn't discover any hidden message in there, and I think if Scott did want to show us something, I don't think he would make it as complicated as playing the track backwards. That's not in his style, as we've seen so far. He kind of does stick to similar ways of working.
I don't really have to say anything either. You guys have got the points over that. I just disagree with anything being backwards meaning anything. I just think it's over speculated, to be honest.
Interesting. I think it is one of those things, like creativity is sometimes always one of those good things to have in the back of your mind, but you always, at the same time, you have to consider, the possibilities, of it possibly being something a little bit too debatable. I think that's what makes a difference between a theory and a hypothesis. And now the final element to this Theory Thursday is actually talking about the possibility of someone being inside of Nightmare Bonnie. Now, in the last sequence where we actually get jump scared by this Nightmare character, there appears to be some kind of reddish hue coming from the head. And a lot of people are thinking that this may be some kind of hidden human within this suit. And me and other Ryan actually speculated the same thing when we first saw the teaser trailer. But upon reviewing things, I think we all have a more conclusive answer as to what this glow might actually be.
I personally believe that it might just be a light light behind the character itself. Maybe like a flickering light to add a bit of ambience to the whole situation. Because obviously from the third game, we know there to be a spring trap, a person inside the suit, and I don't know, our minds are kind of used to that idea now. So anytime we see something with four fingers and a thumb, we're like, maybe there's someone actually inside this suit. But I don't know, I think that is just remodeled nightmares of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 animatronics, just really like over-exaggerated, I believe.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to use the same thing as he did with Springtrap, where the Purple Man was actually inside it, because the Purple Man was significant to the storyline, and I think that was a big surprise for everyone when we discovered that the Purple Man was stuck inside at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I think he'll use a different mechanic to surprise us. He doesn't want to keep us. He wants to keep us guessing. He wants us to be surprised by the ending or whatever he's got in store. So I really don't think there's anyone inside this animatronic.
As well, it's only like one tiny frame. You see the glimpse of it. You know, if it was an actual person inside, it'd show it more, not just a tiny frame of just a glow. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the issue was like. When trailers first come out and you do these kind of breakdowns and you try and analyze all the inner things, it's quite easy to draw to a conclusion on what something may be. I mean, you look for as many answers as you can amongst the excitement of when the trailer first came out as well. Quite an incredible, unexpected thing, and wow, I think everyone instantly got their theory hats on and just tried to look for as many things as possible.
I was thinking something that we didn't actually cover in the last thing is the whole, because I was just talking about flickering lights then. Obviously, when we look through this, we've got a flashlight, meaning the power's out. So maybe there could be like a game mechanic where we have to turn the power on. That's why we see Plushtrap down that hall. Maybe we're on our way to turn the power on, if you know what I mean. Yeah. There's like different sections of the house.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
I think the final thing I want to pick up on as well, actually, in reference to someone being inside these nightmare animatronics, is actually Fredbear, the golden animatronic, or so we speculate to be golden. That's very debatable still, but I was just thinking, you know, when we see this Springtrap character on stage in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames, and we see obviously him jumping up and down, well, bobbing up and down, should I say, on stage with him is some kind of rounded golden animatronic, and we actually haven't seen Fredbear's true colors, and maybe this is the other suit which is operatable by maybe someone else. I mean, we've been saying about these animatronics having the 4 fingers and the 1 thumb, and, you know, there was only 2 of these guys which had this crank ability, so maybe it could be this golden Freddy, this Nightmare Fredbear character we've not seen a lot of information on. He seems very rounded and very kind of proportional to the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames, and of course, this is this unknown animatronic we're yet to see, but that, of course, is once again another speculation.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've not seen Fredbear yet in the trailer, a lot of people have been speculating about where this guy could be, and that's why people were looking for him in Chica's reflection in the window. But I back up your point, Ryan, where you were talking about how Fredbear could work in this manner. If Fredbear is obviously going to be significant, we've not seen his color yet, and that's hopefully going to be one of the next thing that is revealed. It's exciting. I love the trailer. I absolutely love the trailer, and it's exciting that we've not seen everything yet. I think Scott's going to throw some massive curveballs our way.
I also think that Fredbear's going to have a different tactic as well in the game. If he's in the game, I think he's going to have a different tactic than all of them.
So there we have it, guys. That was once again another episode of Theory Thursday for you all, and we really hope you did enjoy this episode. Be sure to comment down below any of your thoughts in relation to the topics discussed.
And if you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below on all of our videos? And if you're new to any of our channels, why not subscribe for theories like this and also some games?
So, thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and we'll, of course, see you on the next one.
Bye!
Goodbye, guys, on all of our channels.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?